27 hours stuck in the snow? What happened? I'm standing on my deck here in West Springfield, Virginia, after an historic snowstorm happened on Monday, January the 4th. Hundreds, if not thousands of people were stranded on I-95. Now, I-95 is the major highway that runs north and south through Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Some people, including our Senator Tim Kaine, were stranded in their cars for up to 27 hours. So what caused 90 miles of backup on I-95? Well, it was sort of a perfect mix of ingredients. It was 60 degrees the day before, probably about 60, 65 degrees the day before. And so it initially started with rain. Then the temperatures dropped really rapidly and the rain turned into snow, and it started to fall at about 2 or 3 inches an hour. And the snow just piled up. You can put sand, you can put salt down, but when the snow is falling that fast, according to the weather guys, it wouldn't do any good because the snow would be falling too fast for the salt and the sand to even do anything. And once the highway's gridlocked like that, the snowplows have no chance of even getting through. You might say it's a sort of snowball effect. Those icicles have been known to kill people. Now, if you're totally done with DC, Northern Virginia, Maryland winters, I can help you put your house on the market, get it sold, and set you up with a great agent in whatever warm climate that you want to get to. I thought DC didn't get snow, so what's this? Storms like this are not typical for the DC area. In the past decade, we've only had 3 other storms that were big like this. In 2019, we had about 8 inches. In 2016, it was about 11 inches. And then we had 2 storms in the winter of 2009 and 2010, where one dumped 15 inches and one snowed about 9 inches. There are some things that you can do so that you're prepared if you ever get stranded in your car during a winter snowstorm. Here's some tips for staying safe if you're on the road during a snowstorm. First, unless you absolutely have to leave your house, just stay home. The best thing is to have as few cars on the road as possible. It helps the emergency crews to get out there, helping people, and get the snow off the roads. Second, make sure that if you're taking a trip, as short as it is, dress appropriately for wintertime. Make sure you've got your coat, layers, gloves, and a scarf. The last thing you can do is make sure that you have a good emergency supply kit in your car. When it comes to being prepared, make sure you at least have these items. First, make sure you have some type of blanket, maybe even a sleeping bag. These are great for really cold winters. If you don't have a lot of room, just make sure that you have something that will keep you warm. If you don't have enough room for a sleeping bag, a good blanket, an army blanket, something like that, wool, or even one of those Mylar blankets that you see that are made out of silver. You can pack several of those in a vehicle because they fold up and compactly and can fit in a small box. Make sure you also have plenty of water, at least a 6-pack of water. But be sure that if you are stranded that you're not drinking water that's icy cold, because that can lower your body temperature. You can keep it warm by putting it under your coat or your sweater or something like that. Make sure that you have your phone cable, your charger cable with you at all times so that you can keep your phone charged. It's not going to last you the 27 hours if you're stranded that long, but at least if you have one of these and maybe a battery phone pack, a battery pack that's already charged up with you, then your phone will last a little bit longer. Finally, I like these. I used these when I was in the Army all the time. They're hand warmers. You can put them inside your gloves. You can just hold them in your hand. Sometimes they're called hot hands. You can put them in your shoes. And these will keep your hands warm, you just take it out, you shake it up, and it has a chemical reaction where it just starts to get warm, and it'll keep your hands and your feet warm for at least a couple of hours. Please be sure to check out this great graphic that I got from AAA. It has a list of items that you can include in an emergency kit for your car. The graphic will be at the end of the video, and I will also link to it in the description. And make sure you're topped off on gas before you go anywhere. And as the eminent philosopher Frank Zappa said, watch out where the Huskies go, and don't you eat that yellow snow.
Watch out where the Huskies go, and don't you eat that yellow snow.
It's pretty to look at, but it's not always fun to drive in, that's for sure. I mean, this is really good snowball packing snow. These are the kind that hurt. Snowbicon is almost over. There's a little bit of sun peeking through today, little sign of hope. We are expecting some more snow tomorrow, January 6th, but it won't be as bad as the storm was on Monday. I'm Agent Kathy with eXp Realty. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon.